Oh, don't worry, you can stand wherever you want, she'll follow you.
Do you have PowerPoint?
Nope, we have technical difficulties, so we do not have a PowerPoint. It's gonna be okay.
Well, are all examples of speech fillers? Speech fillers can be distracting from your speech, as they can make you look unprepared and unprofessional, and make it look like you don't care enough about your audience to prepare properly for your speech. This is important for us because, well, this is a communication class in which there is a lot of public speaking. I have trouble with speech fillers, so I have looked into them, and so I have some knowledge about speech fillers, why we use speech fillers in our speech, how they distract your audience, and how to help avoid using them. So the reason we use speech fillers is because they are used for pauses in our talking when we're trying to think about our next point. Also, in a casual conversation or in a group conversation, it's because in those types of situations, there is people take turns talking to each other, so they so usually if people take it as a signal that their turn to talk in that type of situation when a person is not talking. But if they want to think about their next point, they'll usually say or something like that to try to show that they still are going to be talking. Now that we know why we use speech fillers, it's now to go over how they distract your audience. When you use speech fillers, people will think about it and notice it, even if you don't notice it yourself that much when you're talking. As they're used to cover up pauses in your talking, so if you use speech fillers, then that is obviously a sign that you haven't been preparing as much for the speech that you should have, and because of that, make you look unprofessional, and that distracts your audience. Now that we covered how they distract your audience, now we've how they distract your audience. Now let's talk about how you can try to avoid using them. An important part of that is to practice your speech a lot before you do your speech, because then you'll not have to think as much about what your next point is, and will just be able to say what your next point is. And also, another way to avoid using speech fillers is to try to have your friend point out when you use speech fillers and you're talking. When you use speech fillers and you're talking, so that way you can try to get them out of your talking completely. I got that information from the website of Toastmasters International. So, in conclusion, then, we went over why we use speech fillers, how they distract your audience, and how to try to avoid using them. Hopefully this information can help you if you want to avoid using speech fillers.